Many teachers struggle with these questions. How do I motivate my students? How do I help them to be more responsible for assignments? How can I help my students better remember important information? As science teachers, one of the tools we have to work with is called the 5E method for instruction in science. I'm sure you've heard of it and probably worked with it, but let's revisit it for just a moment. The first step in 5E is to engage the students in the lesson or the unit with some kind of hook that's pretty exciting, real-world application that really gets them thinking. The next step is to let them explore, let them grapple with some information, muck around with it, try to gain some understanding of the topic on their own or in groups. After they've had a chance to, what I say, muck around or grapple with some of the topic, then as the teacher, you start to explain. You give information in lecture notes or PowerPoint. You also have the students explain back to you what they're understanding about the topic. Once we have that good foundation, we extend it to real life situations or other applications, and finally, we evaluate. The 5E method is very similar to riding a bike. When you learn to ride a bike, you got on that bike, hopefully with your helmet, and you started to practice riding. You fell, you learned how to balance yourself, how to work with the pedals and the steering, and eventually, hopefully, you became a proficient bike rider. So one of the suggestions that I'm going to have for you today is for this explore phase of a lesson. Many times teachers like to just give lecture notes or read from the text or use PowerPoint to give information to students. So this time we're going to switch it up a bit and we're going to explore a topic before we get to the explain. To explore the topic, we're going to use Discovery Education website. As Worcester teachers, you all have a free login for the Discovery Ed, and your students also have access to Discovery Ed as well. When you come up here to your user name, it is your phone number that's on file with DAB. This would include the area code, no hyphens, no parentheses. And if you've never logged in before, your password is Discovery. If you can't remember your password, just go ahead and try to log in. You'll get a prompt for forgot password, and you can click that and have a new password sent. So once you log into Discovery, I want you to take a look at My Content, and then select District Content, and we're going to explore this board that I've created for you called What is DNA? Now, what a board is an opportunity for you to present information to students, or what I'm hoping you will do is give your students an assignment of creating a board with a topic that you're studying currently. In this case, if we're studying what is DNA, as a teacher, I can create this board and use it with my students, or I could ask this question and have my students create the board as part of the Explore. This allows them to start to grapple with the topic, learn some information, and then share back with me what they're learning. So in this case, what is a board in Discovery Ed? Board Builder. So this is my headline title, What is DNA? Over here, I've got the standard for you from our Massachusetts frameworks. I've created this little graphic here with some key vocabulary. You'll see here that I have a video. This video clip, 3 minutes and 45 seconds, what is DNA? What is the structure? So I click on this and it brings me to a discovery video that will start playing. Hopefully
General structure of DNA.
your
Objective.
students might have headphones if they're working with this. So you play the video. Moving down my board, I have some text here that's describing what DNA is like. I tried to put this more in like student language, as if a student maybe was creating this board. But the image to the right over here shows that chromosomes are located in the nucleus of the cell, that the DNA is coiled up in the chromosome, and when you unravel the DNA, you see the structure is like a long, twisted coil. It is like a ladder with the rungs of the ladder, but it's twisted up. This is what double helix means. The rungs of the ladder are the nucleotide base pairs, and you can see that in the bottom right of the picture, the base pairs need to be matched up with their complementary or matching nucleotide. Looks like I got a little bit of a grammar error here, but sorry. So you have some text, you have a picture. I grabbed this from Google Images. Down here, a little bit more information. Here is a nice funky thought bubble. Click on this link to go to a short YouTube video by the Amoeba Sisters. This video explains the structure and function of DNA. This is just a graphic showing the Amoeba Sisters icon from YouTube. But here I've inserted a hyperlink out to YouTube. All right, something's wrong with my hyperlink. I'll have to go fix that. But it would take you to this video by the Amoeba Sisters. So after we watch the video on Amoeba Sisters, down here is a download, it's a document that I created in Word and uploaded into the board as an attachment. Students would download this document, pops down here in their download list, and now it's a Word document. In this case, they might take a quiz on DNA structure and function. I could have a Costas level 1 question, Costas level 2, or level 3. Again, if students are creating this board, one of the assignments could be to have them create this quiz on DNA using Costas levels. And finally, with this really catchy little post-it, I hope you enjoyed seeing this board and will challenge your students to create one as they explore a new topic. After they explore the topic, you can add in information that they need to know with lecture notes or PowerPoints. All right, so that's just a quickie on what a board is. And again, you can find that in my content, district content, and it's just sitting down here as a board. So now the next question is, how do I build a board, or how do I teach my students to build a board? All right, so let's go back here. Sorry for that jumping around. So now I'm going to show you how to build a board. Let's go here to Builder Tools, scroll down to Board Builder. You get Board Builder, you have a choice between blank or some of these kind of cool themes. Let me click on blank for a second. I'm going to give this a name, DNA number 2, continue, and I'm going to save it in my content. So now my board is saved and I can start working on it. Over here on the left, you'll see that you can select some themes for your board. You can add items such as the headline, a text box, some media. When you click on media, you can add something that you search for. You can add something from Discovery Content, or you can upload something like you have here on the desktop. You can also add attachments. These would be documents that you create maybe in Word, and then you upload them as an attachment. I can also edit any of my boxes at any time, change up the background or the font size, and by clicking on the trash barrel, I can delete them. So the board that I created, I started with a headline, type that in, DNA, whoops, let's go like this, DNA. I wanted to give it a background, find something fun, let's go with red ribbon. Then I added a text box. Oops. Added a text box. Again, I can change the background on that. By grabbing this gray header, I can move my text box anywhere that I want onto the board. I can also add media. Here, if I wanted to go and search the Discovery website, I could type in DNA, do a quick search, and now in my search results, I can filter them over here and make sure that I'm getting high school level. Maybe I want them in Spanish or English, any details on the video. So here, let's say I go with the general structure of DNA. I can hit add the selected resource, and bang, there it is in my board. Under media, I can also upload in this case. So let's say over here I have this picture of the Amoeba Sisters. I can drag it here, click start the upload, done, and there's my picture of the Amoeba Sisters. Now I can also change the size of it by dragging the corner, or I can move it, once again, I can move it around on my board. The third piece I wanted to show you was how to add an attachment. So here I clicked add an attachment. I'm going to go after this Word document, which was the quiz on DNA. Over here I'm going to click upload, drag my document in, start upload, and done. My board is being saved all while I'm working. So now my board is all finished. Up here, I'm going to choose save, and it will now save the board back in my content. So once that board is saved, then you can actually go out and assign it to students. Again, what I would maybe challenge you with doing, instead of you creating a board for the students, show the students maybe the board that I created and how to create a board, then give them the topic or the question, what is DNA, or maybe what is a Punnett square, and give them some specific requirements. I need vocabulary, I want one video, I'm looking for a quiz, whatever your requirements are, have the students create the board. So what I think this might do is help us go back to these questions that we had. How do I motivate my students? How do I help them to be more responsible? And how can I help them to better remember information? Well, I think creating a board is kind of a motivating thing. They've probably never done it before. It would be sort of exciting, new. How do I help them to be more responsible? If you give a nice clear checklist of what needs to go on the board, my guess is they're going to do it. Again, because it is new, it's innovative, and it's a kind of a fun way to learn. And then by them creating the board and selecting the video and creating the quiz, they've taken ownership of the learning, and I really do think they're going to better remember it. So in a nutshell, this is just one suggestion for addressing these three questions. Hopefully in your discussion with colleagues, you've come up with some other great ideas. And let's see if we can't build out that toolbox to improve our classroom learning for our students. All right, thanks for your time and good luck with your boards.